The roses had barely settled around his neck when reality began to sink in. The roar of Churchill Downs still echoed through the grandstands, but for the team standing in the winner's circle, everything felt strangely quiet, almost sacred. It was as if time itself had paused to honor what had just happened. The colt stood proud, his chest rising and falling heavily, steam lifting from his powerful body into the cool Kentucky air. Just minutes ago, he had been another name in the lineup. Now he was forever part of history. The trainer ran his trembling hand along the horse's face. He remembered the day this colt first arrived, awkward, energetic, unpolished. No one had called him extraordinary. In fact, some had suggested selling him early. He's good, they said. But not Derby good. But greatness doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it grows quietly in the dark mornings when no cameras are watching. Sometimes it is built stride by stride on empty tracks before sunrise. The trainer had seen something others missed, not just speed, but heart. The jockey slowly dismounted, overwhelmed. His hands were still shaking. As reporters crowded around, flashing cameras in his face, he struggled to find words. He never gave up, he finally said. I asked him for everything. And he gave me more. But what the world didn't see was the journey behind that final stretch. There had been setbacks. An early injury that nearly ended the dream. A disappointing prep race that brought doubt back into the stable. Owners questioning decisions. Critics whispering that they had aimed too high. One cold winter morning, the trainer had stood alone by the rail after a difficult workout. The colt had looked tired, frustrated. For a brief moment, the trainer questioned himself. Was he chasing a fantasy? But then the horse lifted his head, eyes burning with quiet determination. And in that silent exchange, the trainer knew they were not done yet. Back in the present, the garland of roses was placed gently across the colt's shoulders. The crowd cheered again as photographers captured the image that would soon circle the world. Yet for the jockey, the loudest sound wasn't the applause. It was the memory of the final turn. He could still feel it. The moment he guided the colt toward the outside lane. The instant when doubt vanished and something powerful took over. The rhythm changed beneath him, smoother, stronger, unstoppable. It was no longer about tactics, it was about belief. Down the stretch, when exhaustion should have slowed them, the colt surged instead, as if he understood what was at stake, as if he refused to let the dream slip away. And now, standing beneath the twin spires, tears in his eyes, the jockey realized something deeper. This victory wasn't just about winning a race. It was about proving that faith, stubborn, relentless faith, still matters. In the stable later that evening, after the crowds faded and the lights dimmed, the colt stood quietly in his stall. The roses had been removed. The noise was gone. Just soft breathing. The smell of hay. Peace. The trainer leaned against the door. You did it, he whispered. But perhaps what moved him most wasn't the trophy waiting outside. It wasn't the headlines or interviews. It was remembering the days when nobody believed, the small races, the empty stands, the long drives home after narrow losses. He remembered telling his team, one day this horse will show them. Tonight he had. Across the country, young riders watched the replay on their phones. Children who dreamed of wearing silks one day. Stable hands who rose before dawn, hoping for a chance. And in living rooms everywhere, people felt something bigger than sport. They felt hope, because the Derby has always been more than 2 minutes. It is 150 years of stories. Of heartbreak, of courage, of second chances. And now this horse's name was etched into that story. As midnight approached, Churchill Downs grew silent once more. The grandstands empty, the dirt track calm again, but history lingered in the air. Some victories fade with time, this one would not. Because it wasn't the fastest horse who won that day. It was the one who refused to quit. And long after the roses wilted, long after the cheers disappeared, what would remain was a simple truth. Dreams are fragile. But when protected with patience, strengthened by struggle, and fueled by belief, they can outrun anything.